This Pomeranian cross has arrived to be spayed, which is removing the ovaries and uterus.
She's in for a spay today. She's a bit of a strange one because she's been licking down below last couple of weeks. These guys have only had her for a month or so. She was rehomed, but we're trying to work out why she was nibbling round below, back of her legs, down by the sort of private parts there. She's not been spayed yet, but one thing that we double checked whether she had any sort of urinary tract infection, and yeah, sure enough there was some blood and protein on the urine. So and she's not due to come into season for some time, so looks like she's got an infection, but no crystals or anything. And also when we put her on allergy medication, it didn't make much of a difference, so it's all adding up. So we're about to induce her. So what that means is we're going to give her this propofol and induce the anaesthesia. So she's going to feel really sleepy all of a sudden, and then same as I think you've seen before, we're going to then maintain it with the gas. So we do this so that we can get an airway to support her. I know, sleepy. I'll use this one, I think they'll be a bit big, those. So we kind of judge the size of the tube next to the dog to work out where it's going to be in relation to the larynx. So hopefully this is about right. So you come round here. So we pull the tongue down, and then we can place the tube down into the windpipe, the trachea, and then she'll be able to cuff the tube. So sitting behind the larynx here. So if you think sort of mid-neck, and then that tube will be going down, and then the cuff will be inflating around about here, so that it stops it. Also, so it provides an airtight seal, but also so it stops it pulling back through the larynx. So Phoebe there is just placing a thermometer, so we can monitor temperature. Also going to add various other monitoring. There you go. So we're going to make an incision here. Clean. When you watch when the nurses clean, they'll be starting from the point of incision and working outwards, so you don't drag any bacteria back onto the surface that you're going to incise through. So why are we spaying Roxy today? Well, when female dogs have seasons, so they essentially, their hormones will cause them to prepare for a pregnancy, and every roughly 6 months, obviously if you're not intending on breeding from the dog, then it's a good idea to get them spayed. We try and spay them about even time between seasons, so about 3 months after they finish their season, about 8 to 12 weeks. Yeah, and essentially it's the earlier we spay them, preferably when they get to around 2 years of age, we want to really be pushing owners into making a decision on spaying their dog, because if they're not intending on breeding from them, then let's reduce the chances of various cancers, and obviously the behavioural and sort of issues with walking in the park with other dogs being attracted to them, and chance of post-season issues like infections in the womb, like pyometra. Oh, bless me. Yeah, so it's generally a good idea, and I think that difficult, different with the males. It's a bit kind of more contentious with sort of, I tend to go on behaviour more than anything, that essentially if they, from like 6 months onwards, if they're being a real pain, then I normally sort of push for a spay. If they're running away from the owner all the time, hard to control, despite good general behaviour and general sort of ownership experience and measures, I think it's a good idea to castrate them then if they're just being a bit of a pain. So yeah, so the spay now we're going to do is nice because it's a nice small dog, but again, still big vessels, big incision into the abdomen, so it's always a bit nerve-wracking because you've got the sort of exposing the dog to infection and potentially risk with cutting those big blood vessels, but we'll give it a go.
She's good to go.
And yeah, we've got good to go. So I guess we'll cut to the next bit now. And right. So just prepping the drape. Phoebes, can I leave you a sec? So this is. Right. So when the nurses are happy, we'll make an incision. Yeah. So we're trying to make quite a small one here. Again, why are we trying to get away with a small incision? Because we're trying to reduce the chances of exposing the abdomen to infection. Lift that muscle layer on the midline. Make an incision through something called the linea alba, which is the joining point, if you like, between the two abdominal muscles.
After the surgery, Karian cleans the area where Richard operated.
I did Lord of the Flies in English as well. I quite like that one.
Look at you.
Look at that little bear.
It's a teddy.
Oh, she's like a teddy bear.
Cold.
Let's get you comfortable. Oh, look at you. You're the cutest thing. Hello, good morning.
Thank you for watching.